There we go. Welcome. What are we going to talk about today? We are going to talk about... Should I show you my content calendar? Sure, why not? Some of this going in the background. My content calendar. So we're going to look at Obsidian Aliases today. And we're going to review American Dirt by, I think it's Janine Cummins. Wants to play him. And I'm going to work on my Obsidian course a little bit. And answer questions. So I've got a... My wife's going to come in a bit with coffee, so I'm going to let her do that. Not really start the recording officially until then. So if you have questions now, I'm ready for them already if you want. I've got time for a few questions before we record. What I need to take my Stream Deck. I wonder if I do this every time. I don't love on my Stream Deck that I just have a hard time keeping it on the Ecamm settings when I'm in Ecamm. But I use it for a bunch of other stuff, so let's go to Ecamm and let's make that my default profile. Oh, I'm gonna uncheck it over there first. That's dumb. Check. Default. There you go. It's easy enough to do once a week. Let's see that there's 5 people here now. Welcome to all who are here. Oh, I found a cool icon for my Stream Deck too. I'll show you. See the Stream Deck? For my switching icon, I found the Star Wars Rebel Alliance symbol, which is cool. I found that when I was looking around today. That stuff. And what else are we going to do today? I think we might look at our... There's an article in Devon Think I want to read. I want to look at, maybe talk about. Thanks for the thumbs up, whoever that was. I found it via Matt Birchler's site. Matt Birchler is awesome. I think it's birchtree.me? I don't know. Let's double check. And I sent it from my phone or from my iPad. Just gotta make sure I sync everything together. Oh, seriously? There we go. Thought my iPad wasn't working for a second. No, not working, the keyboard wasn't picking up. There you go. Syncing for my iPad. One thing, sometimes you have to make Devon Think sync back and forth, so. There we go. Hey, so I think I hate the internet. Ooh, and I really just thought I don't have my Devon Think shortcut set up anymore, do I? Not my Devon Think. My shortcut is not set up to go with Devon Think Zettelcast and Craft Zettelcast. And where does it save to? I'll probably have to revamp that shortcut. Service iCloud Drive. Because I haven't used it since I was on Craft. And now that I'm back to Obsidian, it just wouldn't have been there yet. You know, I probably will be long enough. I can talk about American Dirt. My wife will be anyways. With coffee. There's a quick review. So let's get going. That's what we'll do. We'll record that video, and then we will come back, and I should write down when I started it, because I forgot last time. Started it around 5:29. And it just helps me editing later. Cool, let's get into it. We're gonna review American Dirt by Janine Cummins. Welcome. Today's video, we're gonna talk about American Dirt by Janine Cummins, which is evidently Oprah's book club. I got it because it was a book at work we were gonna read together. And I unfortunately had too many meetings, so I didn't even get to talk about it with book club at work. But before we do this, let's talk about the ways you can support the channel, because that's what, lets me buy books, lots. Move all my stuff out of the way too. First off, you can become a patron, patreon.com/CurtisMcHale. Patrons get all my courses for free. Second, you can go to Skillshare, take some of my courses. You can find those in the links below. You might be interested in the Zettelkasten course, which you'll find a direct link to below. You can also join me streaming Fridays, 1 p.m. Pacific, most Fridays. And you can join me in Discord. There's a link in the description of the stream for those that are watching, and of the video for those that are watching later. Let's talk about this book, American Dirt by Janine Cummins. I suppose I should pose for the YouTube thumbnail, right? All right. So this is a best-selling piece of fiction in Oprah's book club, and Janine Cummins talks about Mexico, specifically a lot of the hard stuff that goes on in Mexico and Acapulco. And the book opens up with a bang, literally, as most of the family gets killed at a party. Except for a mom and a daughter, or a mom and a son, sorry. And it kind of goes and talks about the troubles that are happening in Acapulco in the book, and it talks about gives you a backstory on how the mom ends up knowing the gangster that killed most of her family, because he's a book aficionado and she owns a bookstore. And then really the story is following this mom and the son really working to escape Mexico, to escape death at the hands of this gangster, as they hop on the train, as they she adopts like 2 teenage girls, and they band together to some safety in numbers, as she buys them out of someone that's like trying to just earn money off them, right? Capture everybody off the train, it's a police officer, and then charge them to leave, as she runs from somebody who's literally knows the main gangster, and is just like giving information on her, and then it ends, and we'll leave it at that. And the biggest thing that I come out of this is seeing some of the destitution. So I have actually built houses in Mexico before. I have seen kids in dumps. I have worked with kids in dumps a few times, and I think you see some reality in that. I did anyways. And at the same time, I just think that they come, or this Mexican lady and her son came to America, specifically American Dirt, looking for a piece of American Dirt for a better life, and just realizing in the culture right now in America, certainly not the majority, maybe not the majority. There's a good chunk though that are absolutely against it and say it's super bad and immigrants are terrible. So you may get up in trouble for being there, and people may be mean to you, but they might not literally kill you, or there's more danger at home, so you just are okay with being there. So my final is always should you read this? If you're in the mood for some intelligent fiction, that's a good book. I enjoyed it. I'm not going to keep it in my library. I don't think that I'll read it again, but my wife wants to read it. She actually spent a year leading trips to Mexico for churches and stuff to build houses and to work with some of the migrant workers that are down there. Some of the Oaxaca natives that, were moving around to basically pick the food that I get in cans now. And if you want to just look at it from the other side, what migrants may be running from, and why it might be better for them, even in a land where some people really just hate them. So that's it. I just don't think I'll read it again, so it'll go, but I'll leave it till my wife gets to read it, and then I'll just take it back. That's it. Have a good one. If you liked the video, thumbs up below. If you didn't like it, great. Watch somebody else, I suppose. Other ways to support the channel. If you've subscribed, hit the bell, thumbs up, all that stuff. You can become a patron, patreon.com/CurtisMcHale. Take one of my courses. They're all linked below specifically, but you can just go to use my Skillshare affiliate at curtismchale.ca/Skillshare. Streaming Fridays at 1 p.m. Pacific, which is what we're doing right now. Answering questions about research, books, stuff like that. And the other things you can do are to, I don't even remember anymore. So just thumbs up. Have a good day. You should have a good day. Hang out with your kids maybe. Ciao. 10:38. Hey Martin, how's it going? And Guthrin? I hope I say that right. Thanks for coming again. Good evening. I guess it's evening for you, isn't it, Martin? So after the last stream, I actually got to talk to Martin a bit in book club. Nice guy. Nobody else showed up for book club except Martin. And he didn't even read the book, but he knew he was showing up to having not read the book. So yeah, Stormbright, you should finish your thesis. That's probably more important than my courses. Thanks, though. Guthrie.
Calling with Alexa is not supported on this device. You can use the Alexa app instead.
Alexa, be quiet. I don't know why it came up. Hello from Denmark. Hello from Chilliwack. There you go. Found some spelling mistakes in my review as I was going, so fix those while we're here. Because really, my wife should be home soon, for real this time, and then she will with coffee for me. So let's drag the American Dirt review, and next up is Obsidian Aliases. Oh, Thomas, how's it going? Oh, so you Scandinavians, I don't know if you've read this. I don't know if you like it, but oh, it's the bottom of my whole stack of books. 1 second. Oh. So I'm talking about these, but Stand Still, Stay Silent. This set of comic books takes place in like Sweden, Denmark, places like that. And it's like a virus that takes people out and turns some of them into trolls, and magic comes back and a bunch of other stuff like that. So I just got these. I've read the webcomic a bunch, but you can see right here it's got the like the spines line up and everything. It's really cool. Has like Scandinavian language in here, stuff like that. Really cool set of books. It's on Stand Still, Stay Silent. You can read them all for free on the web. I just did their Kickstarter to get these like beautiful books. Oh, and the art in them is like gorgeous. Oh, I love it. I'm going to find an extra good page for you here, like that. Like, that's just great. I love it. Love it. Right, it has like histories of the Iceland and the Swedes and everything like that. So that is super cool. I very much like it. This is, what book is this again? Which book am I showing you? Book 1. So this is like the starting of the story. A very cool series. Feel free to read it online. If you like it, then get the books. I think you missed getting all 3 books right now. And the Apple device is bugging me. You missed getting all 3 books right now, but you can buy number 3. And you can buy it from the author. If you look on their site, you'll find ways to purchase from them locally, and local to Europe anyways. As opposed to North America, which is I think where a lot of the people are. So that's very cool. Very cool. They did a great job. They're beautiful books. I very much like them. I like devoured. I went through all 3 of them. I had read them all already. When I got them, I just read through all 3. So when they release book 4, they will probably release, like, you can buy all in a shot. If you really like it, then you can decide. But there you go. Yeah. Stormbrise, yeah, that's and if you like it, it's just a good comic. I mean, it's mostly translated into English, like they're speaking in English for English readers, I suppose. But there's definite like barriers between characters. Like one person can't speak all the languages, and one person speaks like one language, and like trying to like muddle through. I sort of have your language, and even talks about the language roots in there. And like if you understand, well, I don't know all this. So if you understand one, you can probably understand the other. So very cool, very cool. And like America's just kind of gone. North America's gone. So all the little islands and Icelands lived, and they're super cool. Trolls, big monsters. It's just good. Very, very good series. Enjoyable for sure. So my recommendation for my Scandinavian viewers today is a cool set of books, which I really enjoyed. So I was very happy to get them. Took a while to get there with Kickstarter, but that's like their third Kickstarter, right? Third Kickstarter. Stand Still, Stay Silent. I suppose I could even give you the... No, not affinity photo. SSSSScomic.com. 4 S's. Stand Still, Stay Silent. There you go. If you want to find it, that's it. Right there for you. Excellent series. Excellent series. Cool. So, Aliases, any other questions then? So there's one language in there, and I can't find it. It was in book 2 maybe, where they said like these two are really close, and then this other third one, like good luck. It's just, you're not even gonna get it if you don't understand the like if you don't have that specific language, you're just out of luck. So that was funny. I can't weigh in on that. I don't know. So yeah. Next up, Aliases and Obsidian. I've got kind of a. I should open it up over here. And my iPad as reference as I go, so that I have it for later. This actually also helps me with my course. There we go. Oh, I don't like the color on this one though. What theme are you guys using if you're using Obsidian? Dark. I want to use themes. I have Groovebox right now. What am I using over here though? So I'm looking at my iPad and at my Mac. I have Groovebox there too. Dark, dark. Obsidian, Groovebox, and both. Man, the Groovebox, way harder to use. I'm using Obsidian again. I haven't done a formal video on it, I got through, but we can chat about it if you want to know. I will star your comment so I can come back to it. I think. Oh, we can even try it now. So, are you using Obsidian again or just spreading the knowledge? Guthrie says. So, I started using Obsidian again mainly for this reason. If I go back here, and I was starting to do, I've been looking for a while to change how I did my organization of, writing. And I really like the Kanban view here. That's excellent. But when I started to actually get in here and looking at my writing in here, it felt like I needed my other notes to link to it. So when I went into the Organized Mind, this is the review, like I wanted to link to my other resources in here, like the Free Brian Williams podcast. Something I haven't figured out really well is actually have Free Brian Williams in here, so I should probably link to that. I think Free Brian Williams right there. So, all right, that's a podcast by Malcolm Gladwell about how you do it. Is there? Oops, yeah. So it's how you forget things. That's about it. So it's about how you forget things and how you're probably not nearly as accurate with remembering as possible. So with Free Brian Williams, to talk about Brian Williams, a reporter who says he was in one area when he really wasn't, and just saying that memory's fallible. Okay. Nazar, Obsidian on the iPad. Is it possible? Totally possible. There it is right there. No, that's not. Why is it doing that? Oh, is it not showing my... It's not showing the proper screen for some reason. Why is that? It's stuck on my stats. You can all see that now. That's super weird. Why is it stuck on that? Should not be. Let's plug it back in. Yes, my needs surpassed the Switch cost. That was it. iPad coming back up. I'm not gonna be able to stream from my iPad today. Oh, just reset the iPad. Oh yeah, you can use it on your iPad. It works really well. Works really well. I'm gonna shut off my iPad, I guess. Turn it back on. See if I can get it working back. Turn it off and on again. So. Yeah. Yeah. So it's $25 as Fabrice says that all you have to do is pay it and then you're good. You get early access to it. So I use it all the time there. And that was the big thing with Craft that I just didn't like, or sorry, with Obsidian in the first place, that I had to use it. That I just didn't like using Obsidian on my iPad because it was only barely okay. And now it's really good. So almost everything works. There's very few things that don't. One or two things don't work, and that's it. So that's it. Yeah, pretty much like the desktop. Almost exactly the same. Very little difference at all. Let's see if I can get back my iPad up again. Get my iPad back up. Give it a few minutes to get Wi-Fi and everything. Oh, I probably lost my keyboard, didn't it? My keyboard's connected via Bluetooth, so... Our power went out this morning, like just as I sat down to work. And yeah, I seem to have been having trouble with all my hookups. With Big Bang, like, I don't know, not close outside, but outside somewhere. And then, since then I've just had trouble. All day, specifically with my iPad connection. iPad's not coming up today, I guess. So, can't share from my iPad, sorry. No iPad today, just reference. But trust me, it works. Works really good. So, last Friday, I switched back and forth a bunch of times, and it worked great. So, yeah. Obsidian aliases. Yeah, it's taking me a while to get back. Any other questions? Yeah, so my needs to pass the switch cost, of course. That's what I said, right? Guthrie, it's only worth it if you have a big enough needs to really make it worth the pain, because there's more pain than you expect. Yeah, I'd never expected the mobile app to be as good in Obsidian as it is either. It's far better than I expected. So, yeah, I will keep using it because it's awesome. So aliases, what are we going to talk about? Let's go. Obsidian aliases. Have you guys used these? Do you use them? I know Thomas does. Because he had a great podcast. Thomas had a great podcast with OmniFocus, the Omni group. Let me see if I can find it. That's not it. You know, I can plug it in to my Mac and display using QuickTime, and it's just not showing up. So, I don't know why. It was literally showing up and frozen, and now it's just not showing up at all. And that's probably means I've got to, like, disconnect a bunch of cables and dig under my desk to make sure. And instead I'm going to stream. So there you go. Thomas's podcast for those that care. Yeah, like it usually shows up in Ecamm as a video source too, but it's just not even showing up. It's not showing up in QuickTime, showing up nowhere. So not gonna worry about it. What I will do at some point is purchase a, what's it called? Can't think of the name right now. A10 Mini ISO. A10 Mini Pro ISO, I think. But I want the ISO version. ISO. Not the extreme. That one there. This one lets me connect a hard drive to the back too on the USB out, I think. Yeah, USB out. I can connect a hard drive to it and it records all the streams at the same time. So all different video feeds all the time. And so what I do is I'd plug my iPad in like it was going to be going into a camera, sort of into a monitor just via HDMI, and it would show up in here as an HDMI source. So would my monitor, and I can even dedicate a second monitor and do like an HDMI splitter, one to the ATEM and one to my monitor. And then I could record that monitor separate, and I could record the camera separate, and I record like I have an overhead view too, right? Which I don't use for much right now because it's just kind of not great. Let's turn that on. Should get better. There we go, a little better. I don't use it very often because I don't know what I use it for at this point, but I have it. So that's what I want to do at some point. Get a splitter and everything and just kind of do it into hardware as opposed to in software, because and it's the first time Ecamm's failed on me. I would still recommend Ecamm, but this is also, how much is the ATEM Mini right now? $1,300. And I don't want to spend $1,300. And the cheaper ones don't have the non-ISO versions, ISO versions, they don't have, they don't record all streams individually. So yeah, that's the big problem. I think it should be more in the $1,000 mark, like it's a couple $100 extra right now. Martin is reminding me to plug book club. So book club, we are currently reading, oh, this one here, The Data Detective by Tim Harford. Good book. And we're going to be reading it near the end of June, maybe beginning of July. We'll have to see. I know I'm going on vacation a little bit, so that is awesome. Yeah, it's a good book, and we're going to be talking about it if you want to jump on. Nazar, would you recommend to grab the Magic Trackpad 2 into the Logitech mice as a pointing device for Mac Mini desktop setup? Okay, so I have a Magic Trackpad 2 over here with my iPad. For my iPad, it's absolutely the best pointing device, bar none. There's no contest in that. I can't say I've used it with my Mac. I have a Logitech MX Master 3, which I've had for a couple months, and it's works good. I like the extra buttons on it. I have just not tried the trackpad. So now if I did though, what I do is, biggest thing is it doesn't switch, but like I'd actually put it, you can see I got a split keyboard, so I put it right in the middle. It's kind of like a laptop. So I don't want to spend $70 just to, try it to see if it's good. It seems silly. So, I think it's a great device. I might try it. I don't really program any custom functions into my mouse either. I do crank up the tracking speed over top of what Mac OS allows though with the Logitech software. So, yeah. That's it. Just keep waiting for that wife, man. Well, you know what? I'm just going to have to deal with the interruption because I could have already been done talking about Obsidian aliases. I could have already been done. So let's just do it. Oh, I should write down what time I'm going to start at. So we are starting at, starts at ends at. Okay. If the trackpad 2 really worked, like switch devices easier, then I'd totally try it more, but it's like just the best one for my iPad. No contest. No contest. Okay, so let's start this video, and if I have to pause for a second, oh, here we go. Coffee. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Water out of the way. So, oh, let me go shut the door. Welcome. Today's video we're going to talk about aliases in Obsidian. They are a really killer feature, and they're one of the features that when I dove back into Obsidian after being on Craft for a while, that I looked at and just was like, whoa, this is awesome. I love it. Before we do that, there are a few ways you can support the channel. Number one is to become a patron, patreon.com/CurtisMcHale. You get all my courses for free then. Number two, you can take one of my courses, Skillshare. You find links to them all individually below, or if you just go to curtismchale.ca/Skillshare, that gives me an affiliate commission when you sign up, and you can go find my courses. You might be most interested, if you're watching this, in the Zettelkasten course, which you can find a link directly to that below. We also stream Fridays, 1 p.m. Pacific, almost every Friday. You can join Discord. There's a link below. We even have a book club, and Martin wants me to plug it, so I'll plug it like in the YouTube video right up front for everybody in addition to the stream. Let's buckle up. Let's look at aliases for Obsidian. All right, so aliases. What are they? So you can see here's my notes right here, and I have a demonstration of what my wife is. My wife's name is Cynthia, so why don't we just go look at that file. So I put her coffee order in here. For those that want to know what my wife likes for coffee, she likes an iced white mocha, no whip, or a hot, or if it's hot, and a white mocha coffee misto. So what does an alias let me do though? So the note is called Cynthia, and that's how I'd link to it. It's my wife's name. But she's also my only wife, clearly. So that would actually let me do this, wife, and this will actually link to the same note. So then I can use multiple things. So another really good note that I used this with recently is smoking. And so smoking is going to be synonymous with cigarettes, cigarette, singular, and tobacco. Those all go together. And so when I linked that in The Data Detective, which is a book I'm reading, it let me link that out to, right, there's smoking in here, right, page 3. It's just a good, that wasn't necessarily a note for long term, but that was something that I wanted to find all the ideas on later. So I know that on page 3, if I'm researching smoking for any other reason, I could go to page 3 of this book and find it. So then I could link to it that way, right? COVID-19 also has a bunch there too, right? Different spellings of it, lowercase, dashes, COVID just by itself. So they all link together. And that's really what aliases are. So how do we do that? The easiest way to do that, let's just open up a new file, is linked file. So we're going to use YAML. So I actually have a template that gives me my YAML to start. A few ways to do it. So if I wanted to do an alias, I could come in here. If it's just a singular, I can do alias. That would be an alias. If it's just another single word, another one, right? Another one, another alias. So then we get into, there's an array format, or use like square brackets and stuff, square bracket, and do that. I find that more difficult. So, and I'm a programmer, so I wouldn't do it. So what you got to do is create a new line, 2 spaces, dash, 2 spaces are important, and then you can do the thing, right? So the thing. Now this would alias to that, and that. Now this file would be linked to for the word linked, and I could link to it from the thing and from that. And really you can do as many as you want here. And it's just been excellent for me even to like solidify a bunch of notes. I had ones with, was it community? I think community building goes into my dashboard community. So I had like a whole bunch in here that, or I have a bunch of notes that are all around community, but they all kind of come back to the same thing. I just really wanted to find different search terms for each one so that I could really go in here. So right, tags urbanization comes in here, right? Community breakdown, another one, city planning, right? So city planning, I think I even have with city planning, city design, city planning are basically the same thing. So when I refer to one, I want to make sure I refer to the other without needing to look at note links later. And this means that in my graph view, all the links to city design or to city planning will link to the same note instead of having, you know, a couple disparate notes and it possibly missing the emphasis or the importance that something has. That's it. That is aliases in Obsidian. I love them. I think they're great. They are a killer feature for Obsidian and just a killer feature to help centralize some of your knowledge so that you can normalize your words. One of the things in syntopical reading, according to How to Read a Book, is to normalize the language of multiple authors. So one author, again, might call something city planning, the other one might call it city design. And by going through the process, using the aliases in here, then you can just normalize that language so that later on you can either use your own term or normalize 4 or 5 different notes there, 4 or 5 different people, what they say, so that you can have just one holistic view of a topic. That's it. If you liked the video, thumbs up below. If you loved it, subscribe, hit the bell. YouTube will let you know what happened, but honestly, turn off your notifications, hang out with your kids, read books, stuff like that instead. Other ways to support the channel, become a patron, patreon.com/CurtisMcHale. Take one of my courses on Skillshare. You can find the link to the Zettelcast one below, or if you go to curtismchale.ca/Skillshare, that'll just take you there with my affiliate link. You'll be good to go. We stream Fridays at 1 p.m. Pacific. We have a book club for Martin, who's watching the stream right now. I'm plugging it again, Martin. I'm going to say it like a whole bunch of times for you. And really for me. Join the book club. You find that in Discord. Link below. We're reading The Data Detective, which is what we talked about right now. Have a good one. All right. Let me write this down. Then we'll look. I saw a whole ton of questions came in. Obsidian. I'm going to be able to spell it? Aliases. Okay, ends at like 35 minutes, we'll call it. Okay, so many questions came through. I gotta drink my coffee, my latte. Let me go back a ways till I see them. Martin, I plugged the book club a bunch of times for you. Just, kind of be a pain in the butt. So. MX Ergo a few weeks back, eh, Martin? Trackballs. I used a trackball a long time ago. My dad was an IBM guy, so I used a trackball a long time ago, and he had one. I never loved them. But, hey, honestly, whatever works for you, don't care. So Thomas, one of the things Thomas talks about in that Omni podcast that I listened to is basically normalizing language. I think he used a different word for it, but same thing. Like, he talked about different groups of people in an organization. If you have two floors, like one floor will call something one thing, the next floor will call it something else. And that is normalizing language. It made me think of syntopical reading right away. Now, so you like the trackpad? Better touch tools, just allows some customization. I could see that maybe. I've heard of better touch tool a lot. $70 to purchase a whole trackpad to try it. I suppose I could just pair it with my Mac for a bit. What I'd really love is sharing Bluetooth devices. I guess actually we do have coming up. What's it? It's a new continuity feature in macOS Monterey where I can, like, from my Mac, and I have 3 Mac, laptop, iPads up there on a VSAR. I would be able to, like, push with my trackpad right off to my iPad and use the mouse over there. That would be useful then. Yeah. Got 3. So aliases do show as a separate entry on the graph. The connections are just duplicated. No. So let me show this. Let me go here. Graph view. Okay. It's been a while. Okay, it's been a while since I've used graph view, so I'm going to muddle with this a bit. So let's look up smoking. The Organized Mind talks about it. The Data Detective. That's it right there. So we link to it. What are our links to it? How does it show on our back? Smoking/cigarette. So this is what it does. So it basically leverages the way that you can create a link. So you can create a link to anything like this link. And then if you use the pipe character, then you can name it whatever you want. So now it shows up as nom, because I spelled terribly, but it actually links to link. So it basically leverages that system in Obsidian, which you could already do. So you could have already normalized your language that way, but this will actually show you, this actually just does a better job, right? So I can come in here, smoking, the Organized Mind. So there's more smoking stuff in here. But I didn't link to this again. You can see right above, I already linked to smoking. So I don't need to link to it again like 3 pages later, or 3 words later. So that's how it works. It shows up in all links to the same node. Links to the book club and the comic in your description. Oh, the comic. So I did link in here. The book club is in, is in Discord. So if you join Discord, you'll find the books channel there. So that's already should be in the description here for you. Stormbrise, right? Yeah, so that should already be in there for you. Thomas, I've been building out topic pages, hubs to link out to related books. People, I have been trying to stitch together a collection of similar concepts. You already agreed to this, so I'll get you on. I need to grab your email out of someplace where I can connect you, or just even DM you on Discord. Can you hear that next door, man? I don't know what they're doing next door, but it, like, vibrates the entire apartment right now. So, Zircon, a left-hander. I'm using the Logitech M545. I'm a left-hander too, but I mouse with my right. Well, Safari's not even open. Oh, wrong screen. So let's look that up. I want to see what that is. Oh, so the M545 is just like has no tilt, right? So unlike I have the MX Master 3, which you can see is tilted. I don't know if I have the Mac version, but it's tilted, so it's best for the right hand. And the 545 is just sticks on the one side. Like it's not kind of built for one hand or the other. So like whatever works. Like So I've used an MX Ergo before, I think. Something like that. And I think that it was different. I mean, this is like, I'm 41. So I lived with my parents last when I was 17. So a long time ago. More than 20 years ago. More than 20 years ago I did that. You can see, like, even this one is kind of to left-handers, and the 545 is just like perfect right there. So, are links case sensitive, John? Are links case sensitive? So John asks, are links and aliases case sensitive? I'm an Obsidian user for exactly 1 week now. Yeah, I'm glad my videos are helpful. I've honestly really only started doing them again recently. So are links case sensitive? Let's look at this. So I think they are. So if I go COVID, because I have a bunch, you can see that, yeah. So tag, so uppercase, lowercase, that's the actual file, because it doesn't have the arrow beside it. And then, again there, tags COVID-19. Oh, basically I just duplicated the alias there, so I really don't need that first one, so it's already there. Okay. So they are case sensitive, and I would put them in. I just put in a bunch of different spellings. So there's a bunch of different ways. I could also do it with Jeff Perry. So he also is a slab of glass. A podcast, which I was on just a while ago, or we just recorded. It won't be out for a couple weeks still. So let me say, anytime I talk about Jeff Perry, I also want to link to his podcast, Slab of Glass. So that's another good way to do it. Or, right, I could do Sean Blanc is also the Sweet Setup. Although with that, there's a bunch of people that are the Sweet Setup, so that would be hard, right? Mike Schmitz also writes there. I write there. Sometimes I actually built that site. Yeah, so you have to figure out that. Like, how do we cross-link? If you wanted an alias in 2 spots, because I would put Mike Schmitz is also there. But it might just be better to link any piece that I read for Mike, like to do a dual tag. So if I read, start a new one, link. So if I read something from Mike, say this is Mike Schmitz's file, Mike's file, and then if I linked, I'd also do the Sweet Setup. I'd link to that as well at the same time. Instead of having, so only if it was linked to Mike and it said the Sweet Setup, then I do that. That way I could also differentiate between what he does with, what's his book? Bookworm.fm and Focused with David Sparks. So that way you could differentiate between them. So. Oh, back when I was, yeah, probably. There's a Cummins says, back then, so when I was 17, in 1997, there was no left-handed settings. Cool. From the mid-'80s. Yeah, so I honestly didn't do a lot of computer stuff until I was, my mid-20s. I spent, 17 to 24, 25 maybe, guiding outdoor trips. You can see some of the, like this is me and my daughter, but on a mountain locally. And this is me running 50K, another run running over there, big run. So I spent a lot of time doing that instead of computer stuff. Swore I'd never do computer stuff, in fact. Swore I'd never do it. So, and here I am doing computer stuff. Like literally just sitting at my computer all day from like 6 o'clock this morning. Coding, now talking about Obsidian stuff. For now, anyways. Oh, Thomas. Oh, thanks for sending me your email, Thomas. I will get in touch with you about that. That sounds like it's a better way for you. So, I will do that. Thomas is also one of my patrons. Thank you, Thomas, for the support. I'll do that. We should arrange, and we'll have Thomas on in like the second hour. So at like 2, well, we'll talk with him, see what works for him too, but talk about that. So what we're going to do, I was going to look at, I want to read one article first. So let's do that. Recommended by Matt Birchler. The article is, hey, so I think I hate the internet. You can all see what it says. There you go. You can all see what it says. So let's first, I usually do this on my iPad. I was just going to stream from my iPad today, but seeing as it's still not showing up as a video source, It's just not showing up. So that's it. What happened there? Got distracted. There we go. Hide the sidebar. I'm not sure I'm going to take notes on this. I'm just going to leave it blank for now. And then if I like it and want to take a note on it, then I will actually spin up my notes. So how would I spin up? I'll just spin up a note for you anyways. So we'll go new. Hey, so, oh, hey, guy, internet. Now I'd put a timestamp in here, the day, the month, the year, and the time. I don't actually use those for anything. It's just if someone else happened to come up with this exact same article, then I would do, then it could differentiate kind of which one I read. So, and this is going to be a note template. So I define that in templater. And what do I do here? I would also put the author in here. What is that? G. Keenan Schneider? So I'll put it in here actually. I'm going to skip the period because I think it's period definitely semicolon or slashes. Obsidian does not like. Keenan and ID Schneider. Okay, cool. So take notes now on this as I go, and then I would summarize it. And then I would also maybe, I don't normally do this, so HT since Matt Birchler. So hat tip, Matt Birchler. So I was linking to this later. I might, say, hey, thanks, Matt, for linking this to me. So, and then later on, once I know what it's about, I'll tag. And so another thing people ask, why don't I tag as in tag? All right, so I have a to summarize, to watch. Those are, I have two, and I have other ones that I don't really use anymore that are still indexed somewhere in here. So I use these as status only. Brian Jenks has a really good video on why you would do that. Really good video on why you would do that. This also means that if I'm going to tag this with anything later, I can also easily see and then turn into a note all of that information, I think. And you can transclude directly, like tags don't actually get their own file, whereas links as tags with the double square brackets do. So the same thing I did in Craft. I used tag, well, first off, Craft has no hashtag tags. So the only thing I do here is tag as status. So if it's to summarize, then I would do it. If it's to read, I would do it. That's it. So let's read this. One other time I had done, let me see if I can do this again. Bring up my, that, I want some music. I don't know what you want, but what do I look at? Epidemic sound. It's just on another window that you guys can't even see, but I can't kill that. Me, chill hop. Okay. Minimize. Can you hear that? It's too loud. Is it okay? Let me know. I want it to be like quiet. But I like to listen to music, so that's what we're doing. I'd also actually, since this is, I didn't do this yet, but since this is a Devon Think, I'd copy the item link here. DT, paste that in. So I can get back to it, and then I'd also copy the URL. So URL. So you notice I got some duplicates here. I want to look up later the DataView plugin and learn how to use it really, so that I think I can query all this stuff here. So I could do better queries for my metadata than with DataView. But at this point I don't know how to use it. So I'm just filling in information in hopes it becomes useful at some point, because I'm never gonna go back and fill in, like, I don't even know how many notes I have, how many thousands, almost 2,000 notes, I think. I'm gonna look up that inside video there from my iPad. Add to my list. Cool. I know what I should do. Let's link this. The zircon, it's a new, I'm not sure what you're talking about, there's a cone. So you can't send me links, actually. Unless you're gonna send them in, what is it? Discord. If you wanna hop in Discord in the general channel, there should be a link in the description of this video. Then you can send me links, but otherwise I can't see what you're saying, talking about. I don't know what you're talking about at all. All right, I see it. Let's open up Firefox just because. We'll look at that in a minute. Okay, my first thoughts though, if it's a new internet protocol, it's like the old, what is it, XKCD thing where like, hey, we'll have a new, we have way too many standards. Here's a new standard. We now have 13. Right, we started with 12, now we have 13. So I'll take a look at it. So he says here, or much of the internet is negative, malicious, or otherwise unproductive. Negative and malicious, I don't see as much, but that's also because I have strong filters. I have a lot of filters on my Twitter feed, and that's like the only social network I use. So unproductive, I totally get though. That's actually why I stopped Instagram, because it was unproductive. So. And because, you know, Facebook. Right there. Shakespeare wrote Priority as a solo foot, but I think it's time we agree he was a fucking idiot. Fair enough. Very true. I saw someone say recently on Twitter, Brian Cassell, I think, that if you're going to complain, just basically stop. Like, don't just show up on Twitter to complain or anything. Just go do your own thing. Be the change you want to be. That's another way of putting it. Just be the change you want to be. You want to see. I'm trying that, and less of the something is going annoying for me today. More of the this is what I want to see in life. One thing I've definitely thought for a long time is if you're going to do a Twitter thread, it should be a blog post. Because it's going to live longer there. You get more credit for it. It's not just a Twitter thing. Hey Jeff, how's it going? A complaint-free world. How to stop complaining and start enjoying the life you always wanted to live. Just give me another one to do, to purchase. You know what? I'm using Safari for something else. Let's open up Firefox for these other links. What is it? A complaint-free world. You're typing so fast. Say it was. How to stop complaining and start enjoying. That's the one there. I was just showing off you and my Obsidian aliases, Jeff. Actually, that I did a few minutes ago. Because I aliased you to a slab of glass for the podcast. Hey Ivan, how's it going? Hope you're having a good day. He talks about cancel culture in here. So this is again where I'd use aliases, right? You might even go split horizontally, just so I can see both at the same time. Then I'd go YAML aliases, and I'd say cancel culture. This also lets me use it if someone else capitalizes it in both instances. Then it also lets me say, like, use their language properly, so I quote them properly in the future. That's probably it. Man, whole apartment shaking next door still. So, oh, templater is pretty cool. So one thing, Jeff, that got me a bit, courses. We're gonna get back to that. Inbox, so many things. Templates. So my daily note template was getting these dates right. That was a tricky thing. So that it shows up and it's like TPT or TP date now, so -1, and then tying it to the file title for my date note, so it actually reads the file title, -1 for navigation back, and then you actually have to hit 1 + 1 because it's programming. 0 is today, so that tripped me up for a little bit getting it right. I have a bunch of notes that are like far into the future that are like dated from like, you know, the day before and the day after, like 2 weeks ago or something. That was a tricky one. Let's go. Hate the internet. How did I load command? Jeff asks, how did I load command? Toggle left sidebar, command P. Opens up basically any command you can do in Obsidian. So I just sit toggle or side, I think I typed. I use the arrow keys to switch whichever one I want. So I'm not sure if you can see that. I can see it better on your screen. Harder for me to see it actually. So that's it, toggle right sidebar. And there you go. And I could also, you know, toggle right sidebar. There you go. And you can do keyboard commands with it too, I think. Hotkeys. Yeah, there you go. You could put in keyboard commands. So I don't remember them. Like I used to have keyboard commands here and I didn't remember them, so it just stopped. It's not something I use all the time, so. And then I couldn't find a keyboard command from some other application that basically did the same thing. So like the code editor I use is Vim, and to toggle nerd tree, toggle my sidebars, it's like leader, so that's comma N. And that's like there's no command shift whatever involved in that, so it's just not useful over here. I tried using like mapping it to one from Atom, which is my secondary code editor, and I don't use Atom enough to even know what the command is, so I just searched there. So as well under the help menu, right? Because you can do that in like everything. Maybe not Obsidian, but like in Devon Think, go to search. What I want to do is side. All right, I can toggle sidebars like that. So I don't know if you knew that in Mac, you can just like find any command, do that all the time. So, and then I've been using a lot with my Stream Deck, which I've got, what? I don't want Squarespace. What? There we go. With my Stream Deck, I've been doing a lot of, like for Affinity Photo, I just put them right in there so I can see it. So one thing I'm very happy about is some of the off-color comments I made many years ago. Most often I would say, the ones that come to mind right now for me is around First Nations in Canada. I'm glad there was no Twitter and I didn't make them out loud because they were terrible and I was an idiot. I'm still an idiot on some things, I'm sure, but I'm very happy that that didn't happen then. So, Shift Command square bracket. Works for you? Good. So Jeff did for his left and right. So, or for sidebar hiding. I said I just never found one that was useful to me, so I haven't done it. So this right here, I was thinking, this week I said this to, what's her name? Sarah Rennick. I think that's, yeah, Sarah Rennick. On Twitter. Funny enough, that one of my favorite things to do is actually take my daughter to swimming because then I can just go lay on the grass and read a book. To be sure, I could like totally tether to my phone. I could do like whatever and do work, but I just take her and I read. And same with, so 4 nights a week, usually. It was Thursday night. Last night I dropped my one daughter off skating. She skates for an hour and then my other daughter skates. And then I ride the bike home with the kids. And I could totally take that, but instead I read, like take a bunch of work, but instead I was reading Starsight, Brandon Sanderson. Starsight, I think that's Starfall series. Whatever the second book is in that series, which I'm sure you can find now. And that was far better, sit on the bench and just read a book without my phone. Fix a passing bike for a mom who just didn't know why the bike wasn't working. So. So what's the summary for this? Okay, now we're going to move the file to notes because that's what it's all about. I've wondered about tagging with like, this is a blog post article, but I'm not going to do that. Ah, wrong thing. Anyone into Sci-Fi Books? I'm into Sci-Fi Books. What's your favorite series? The Zircon. What is it on here? Move. Move to. Oh, Shift or Control Command M. There we go. Also, we're gonna look at Firefox. A few things in there. Sci-Fi Books. So my favorite science fiction series right now, The Expanse is really good. I really like that. What else is really good? Neverwhere is really good by Neil Gaiman. I enjoy that one as well. It's a little sci-fi, little fantasy. I got a bunch of time. It's got kind of time travel in it. Yeah, that's a good one. What else? The Foundation series by Asimov. I have done that one. Listened to that audiobook. I'm currently reading. I just finished Pathfinder by Orson Scott Card, and I'm gonna go to read or listen to Ruins. I should finish when I do swimming tonight and just hang out and read a book. I should finish that Starsight book. I think it's Starsight. I don't know what else I'm going to take. I'm going to actually take Kurt Vonnegut Player Piano tonight because it's supposed to rain, so I'll have a little tiny bit of space where I can be not in the rain. It's like 3 blocks from my house, but it's not worth like coming back, riding back and forth on my bike a couple times. So my daughter and I will just hang out outside. So hardcover, complaint-free world. Andy Weir, Project Hail Mary. That is on my list for audiobook. I loved, what was it? His first book, The Martian. Loved it. Listened to it right again. Finished it as the plane landed and listened to it again on the way back. I'm in near Vancouver and I was going down to Phoenix. So on my way back at the end of the week, I listened to it a second time. It was a great book. Near future sci-fi, mostly Charles Stross, William Gibson, and some Neil Stephenson's works. Oh, I don't even know. Neil Stephenson sounds familiar. Look that up. Martian, yeah. Multiple people, The Martian. So you guys are delayed by 60 seconds based on what I say, so. Strauss. Oh, what's the other one? Rick Brown, R.I.K. Brown. That series is really good. What's it called? No. I can't think of it. I can look it up on my Kindle. Cryptonomicon. That's what I've heard of from Neil Stephenson. Where's my library? Looking for R.Y.K. Brown, the Frontier Saga. That is excellent. Rick Brown, very good. The biggest problem with that one is it's only on Kindle. This one here, excellent series. So Jeff, you recommended this book though. Books on order from the Bookman. Drop it near the bottom. Here you go. Look at that later. Project Gemini. Someone else recommended that. Okay, I gotta be honest. I'm not gonna look at that. I'm just not gonna use it. So I don't know why I'm not gonna use it. Not gonna use it. Sorry. Not even sorry. It'd be interesting from a technical, logical perspective. So if one of the deepest tech podcasts I listen to is Security Now, and he goes into deep things sometimes, that if he did a summary on that, I would totally be interested in listening to it, but I'm not going to use it. I have other things to do. Okay, so we were going to look at so I talked about doing a reading course. That was going to be my next course. I actually just got a book for it too. So, called The Reading Mind, A Cognitive Approach to How the Mind Reads. This book will go into that. But what I kept coming back to with this course is that I have there's too much research to do to get this course done in any reasonable time. So, what I'm going to do instead is an Obsidian course. Because I can do that, not mostly out of my head, but there's a lot less research that needs to happen for that to actually work. So, I am just going to do that instead. That's my goal. So, those are working. Can you open up a second window of Obsidian at the same time? This is going to be the hard part. Like wanting to go through and install my first vault at the same time. So that was actually done. Let's edit. And so what I've set up structure-wise is a Kanban board. Some of these things will happen with a video, like on the YouTube channel. I'll do some of these as videos on the YouTube channel, and then I have my outline right here. And then I have the outliner plugin. Move, swap line up, swap line down. So I need to come up with keyboard commands for that though. So that would actually let me, who did this? Nick Milo, I think I saw doing this. Hotkeys. Swap. Oh, let's go up, down first, eh? So what he actually talked about having, I get this totally, having all your keyboard commands like operable from one hand so that you can be mousing with one hand too. But in Obsidian, I'm going to be mostly writing. So, you know what, let's just go with that. Let's go down, up. So what this would let me do is do this, right? I can reorder it by just going and move them around. Right, I can swap them up and down that way. So that's the outliner plugin. All right, this one here. Does it not have its own thing? It doesn't have its own thing. Community plugins. Oh, it's not even turned on in here. That's why I didn't see it. I must have. I thought I had turned this on. Maybe it's having an issue between this and the iPad app. Heliconia Trilogy. Oh, I've got so many books I haven't even read that I own. Yes, this gives you more folding, move list and sublists up. Shift command up and down. So this will actually do so shift command up, right? So it's actually taking the sublist as well, which is cool. Whereas the other one just swaps the line. It does not take the sublists with it. So. Oh yeah, data view will be a while. Like I need to learn it first. There's a couple videos I gotta watch first. I hope it works. Well, like I'm a programmer, I hope I understand it well, but we'll just have to see. Yeah, I was just looking. My kids always ask me, Dad, how many books have you read out of all the books you own? And right now it is at, like, these are the books I physically own that I count as mine. Reading status. I have 176 books to read out of 276. So, no. Yeah. Now, okay, I admit there's a few of those. I have read the entire Expanse saga except the last one, and I just, because I read them on Kindle, I count the ones I haven't read physically as unread. There's a few like that. The Wheel of Time series, and some of the Brandon Sanderson books too, as well. I count them as read even though I have unread, even though I have read them. So that's only books. That's not all the books in my house. That's just the books that I consider mine, that I purchased, that I'm interested in. So a couple of them are my wife purchased that I'm just interested in as well. So it's actually likely, Guthrie, that I will do a data view at some point as like a trial, because it'll be like a more complex one as a YouTube video. Yeah, quick capture in Obsidian is tough. I think in Craft it's easier. So I had a shortcut. I can't even show you this, unfortunately, because my iPad is just not working right now to stream from. I had a shortcut. What was it called? Note. No. For Obsidian, yeah. So what was it? New idea. That's what it's called. I did the triple tap on my phone. New idea. Created by Christopher Lawley, for those that care. And I got writing idea in that. What did I do with it? It saved it into iCloud Drive. So you could do that, saving it into... Oh, go away, Siri. You could do that, and I could save it in iCloud Drive. Let me test this right now to make sure. 1, 2, 3. Idea. Done. Name. Test idea. Done. iCloud Drive. I'm going to save it into my Obsidian folder, to my iOS vault, to notes. So, oh, not to notes, into inbox. So let's go over to my inbox here. I haven't saved it yet. I just want to see how fast it comes up. Well, there's a few things in there. Not a lot. Inbox. It's not letting me save though. Interesting. Oh, let me save there. It won't let me save inside this other folder. So I have heard that okay, so you can see it's ghosted. Oh, get back onto my screen. You can see up here it's oh, focus on you. You gonna focus? It's not gonna focus. Oh, there you go. You can see up here that save is grayed out because I'm inside the Obsidian, which is like registered to the app folder right there. So I can't actually save it inside that folder. Mina, do I offer consulting related to business? I used to, Mina. I used to do like a whole coaching and everything. So that shortcut's not going to work. Is it? Link. No, that's the old file I had today. I used to, Mina, and I would do it again. So I actually stopped doing it because it just wasn't getting any traction after a year of really putting a lot of effort into it, and my kids need to eat. So would I do it again? Yes. If you want to reach out to me, I would certainly talk about what we could do. I had a whole bunch of courses around it. I did coaching for a couple of years. I coached a couple of C-suite executives at a few $1,000s a month. I'm not assuming that's what you're going for. And more of my clients were not at that rate. And help them like integrate multiple businesses together that were multi-million-dollar stuff. But I just wasn't getting the traction, and it stopped being fun in some ways. At least trying to do the sales part of it and doing the video part of it, doing the like keep marketing part of it. It's just got boring. So I stopped. And I've also done some coaching recently on research systems to help people build out good research systems. So by all means. Yeah, so Jeff, I was going to say, Federico did seem to say that it would work. I also have this new app that I installed on my phone. I saw that here. Called Enter Mars, Maurs. It's called Enter on the App Store, and he said it does work with Obsidian really well. I haven't had a chance to dig into it. So I don't know what to do about that yet. I haven't. So I've looked at this app a little bit. It's on an iPad, so I can't show you my iPad today. So it's just not working. But how it can automatically save. To export. So I think what it's going to want me to do is export to other notes. Hit the more icon there. Yeah, so like I could go through and like export out of that into it, but no. How do we do this? I don't know. I can't like multiple export everything. So it's called Enter Mars. I'll only bring it up because it's spelled funny. I think that was what it's called. There it goes. Yeah. They reached out to me this week and said, hey, I think people might like it. And I haven't had, that's all I got. I haven't tried it. Haven't really got to dig into it yet. It's pretty cheap. I think it's like $3.99 to like just support it. So that seemed cheap enough for me. Not cheap enough. It seemed like a reasonable cost to me for an app. Enter Mars. Yeah, I got an email from them. I can't show you my email though. So I thought that sounded maybe interesting. He said, "Oh, it'll work great with Obsidian." I said, "Okay," but it doesn't work. It's not useful at this point, anyways. Or I haven't dug into it to know if it's useful for me yet. So maybe you'll dig into it first. And no. And no. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't install public beta, or I don't install developer betas, but I'll have the iPadOS 15 public beta by the time it gets on movie. I'll install public beta, probably public beta 1 on my iPad, and then start digging into it. Yeah, what I was doing for. Syncing files. Okay, so there are lots of ways to sync files. iCloud, it's probably not actually. I know that's like actually a word for like a service on iPad, but, and then sync. So the nice thing is if you did it in Dropbox, cool, Obsidian sync, E2E sync with Obsidian. someone using the Obsidian sync? Has it been reliable? I haven't heard it about being bad. I'm just wondering. I haven't heard of it. And they know, like... Oh, I can't think of the other app they do. The outlining app. Notes outlining app. So, it's rock solid, Guthrie. Okay, cool. I haven't used it, so I've just been syncing with iCloud, which is really fast, actually. Although once in a while, I find you gotta kick it. Like it needs a little bit of a kick. You just gotta open up and then it'll go. Mina, my email's all over. It's curtis@curtismchale.ca. So if you want to email me, go for it. You can bug me in Discord. I'm in there. So I'm in there. I pop in once a day for sure. So, but the best thing is just to email me, and I will get back to it. Although I honestly I'm slow at all communication right now. So I can't focus on my regular job stuff, and I am worse on my other stuff. Yeah, I found iCloud to be super solid too. So I've used iCloud the whole time because there was no sync at first, right? So I synced iCloud into OneWriter folder with Obsidian on my desktop first, and then I've moved it out to its own app folder now. And so my vault is, oh, it's not, you don't do vaults that way. Vaults is iOS vault. So that's what that's what I'm using right now. So that's just an old vault. That'd be like an old dead vault. CloudKit was good, but sync was more reliable for me. Really, I haven't found opening. So Thomas says that opening a file on iPad and on Mac can get funny. Let's do this right now. So you're watching me stream, and I can't hook up to my iPad right now. So Obsidian files. Okay, so it hasn't synced over to my iPad yet. What I was just doing here. Usually it's been faster than that. So, interesting. It's not syncing fast now that I'm trying to show it. I was gonna say it's really good. I don't know what you're talking about. What do I use? I use yeah, see, sometimes I've only experienced it being really fast, Thomas, for the sync. He said, Thomas is saying, for those watching later, that it's 2 to 5 minutes sometimes. Sometimes it's super fast. So it's being slow right now. Still hasn't updated on my iPad here. So, oh yeah, iCloud is also E2E. Good job. Is Dropbox E2E? And do you have control? So I'm gonna have to pay for the sync servers to try it out. But since the files exist literally on my computer, Backblaze. So like I have another copy of it somewhere as well, all the time. And I guess Time Machine would. I guess with their sync though, they would actually, is E2E. Oh, there's a difference, end-to-end encrypted. Or is it double E and E single E the same thing, right? It's just the same, E2E and E2E. So I suppose I can look that up. Yeah, Guthrie. They all are pretty good options. Dropbox started doing so many other crappy things. I just didn't want to use it anymore. I don't think I even have it installed on this computer. So I gotta remember too, like with sync with the iPad right now, like it's a beta. It's a very stable beta. Like I use it just like it's not a beta, but it's good to have Obsidian sync. File providers isn't the right word though. There. Same thing, Thomas. E2EE and E2E are same thing. Cool. Thank you. I just do at to do, so just go like this. I guess I can do tasks, can't I? Just yesterday, I accidentally deleted my entire Kanban board for this course and recovered it, which is nice. Okay, does Obsidian support web dev servers? I'm pretty sure it does. Thanks, Guthrie. Thanks for coming. No, that sucks. Thomas was saying with when he had it open on Dropbox, he had a file open on the iPad and it kept duplicating files. That sucks. That's not what we want. Does it support WebDAV? Let me see. I'll just look it up. That's how I'll find out. Looks like. Oh, this is a bug report, but. So yes, it looks like it does support WebDAV. That's cool. I love that comic. Yeah, my biggest problem with Dropbox long term is that it just started doing a bunch of stuff I didn't want it to do anymore. You're a pure Devonian. Oh, see, so I did a video a while ago. I like DevonThink for my primary sources. All the articles I'm going to read, stuff like that. It's my relator service, and I like Obsidian for creating notes. Now I know DevonThink now has like, is now pushing its cross-linking with like the double brackets, backlinks, stuff like that. And I'm always going to tell you, use whatever works for you. You should not switch. The cost to switching is so high, you probably don't even check. Like it's so high. So one thing that I was told, file providers, in a previous course on TickTick, which I thought was silly, is that, hey, this is all iPad and all iOS and Mac OS. And I literally said this in the first video, that's the devices I use, that's what I'm going to focus on. But it's actually literally the same thing. So it's kind of like with this. So outside of the shortcut stuff, which we can talk about at some point in the course, Obsidian works the same on Mac or Windows. Like the Android app and the iPad app, the iOS apps are the same thing. So I don't even know what to say about that to somebody. But I want to try and at least keep that in mind so that I don't, just so it's clear. So I try to be good about that. So, iCloud. If you're on, it's probably only. My biggest fear with like being excited that we're gonna get that the shortcuts integration allows it to save to other locations just won't happen, because I know they did that with some stuff before. Zircon, thank you. Yeah, I gotta be careful too. Like I have in my daily notes, I have some notes of like to my employees, the people that I'm in charge of. So I need to be careful about their privacy. As biggest thing is the stream, although usually it's like I don't think it's ever been like here's like a reprimand or anything like that. It's just, have you looked at this task? Have you looked at that task? Mostly I'm just keeping their names from being shown. So next up, is Dropbox really available on Linux? It's on Linux. Is Dropbox good on Linux? Is Dropbox good on Linux? That might be helpful. 2019, yeah, kind of close. I actually want a Synology Zircon. I want to put my Plex on there. So what are Linux users saying? The new app isn't there. I think that's the one with like all the extra crap though, that I never want. Good luck and thanks for all the fish. So what you say to the dolphins? What did the dolphins say to us? 42, right? For those that get the reference. I don't hear anybody complaining and saying it's terrible, so I'm gonna say it's good. Interesting. Do I have Dropbox installed on my I do have Dropbox installed. Can you point Obsidian at the Dropbox location? That's interesting to note. You can't. Nope, I can't. Okay. I gotta book a car appointment today after this streaming. It's on my task list. Integrations to WordPress, what do you mean? And to iPad Aliases. Thanks for coming by, Martin. So they're calling my full-time job has been WordPress for 10 years, so if you didn't know that. Full-time for 10 years. That's what I've been doing. Building membership sites, complex integrations, migrating data. So you're talking Obsidian? Is there Obsidian? So I've actually run my own site on Static and have for probably 2 years now, but I've been getting tempted to go back to it's a reseller guide. No, it's not useful. So last time I used the publish to WordPress. Writing tool has some kind of functionality. So with shortcuts, you can... I can't show you my iPad, unfortunately. But with shortcuts in Obsidian, you can highlight text if you're on iOS, and then kind of right-click and the share, not right-click, two-finger click, something like that, and the share menu comes up, and then you can do your WordPress action, your WordPress shortcut to like publish to WordPress. Staging content into WordPress, so you can use Mars Edit. With shortcuts coming on Mac OS, I assume there'll be a WordPress action that you could use again in Monterey. Yeah, and then the WordPress action is, I wish I could show you. I'm kind of bummed that my iPad's not working today. Still not working, so I can't help you. Oh, maybe I could if I did this. Just unplug it. Turn off my keyboard. Oh, let's see, this is gonna be like hacky hack way to get this done for you, I think. If it even shows up properly. There you go, kind of, so you can see this. Okay, kind of. Can I zoom in? Where's my camera settings here? Camera effects, zoom. That's the best you're gonna get. So if I go shortcuts, and then do I have a WordPress one still? Publish, no. Okay, so let's just go to a new, cancel, new shortcut. Let's look up post to WordPress. Allow access. Oh, I was gonna ask for my face. Oh, I don't have a site anymore. Dang it. What do I have? A site I ran for just a tiny little bit. Oh. I think. I'm just looking this up now. .com, okay. There we go, cool. It's not worked. Oh, this is too bright for you though. Dark mode? Dark mode. You still can't see it, can you? I can't zoom any farther, sorry, or else I'd show it to you more. But you can go show more. I need to bring that camera down later. We can go to our categories, right? I could add any categories I want, although I don't have any here. I could add tags to it. I could post the content as the title, so I could put the content as the shortcut input and title. And I could do above it, I could ask for input. Ask for input up here, text with prompt. Title, done, and then I'd say provided input, done, That's it. And I'd post it to WordPress. There's advanced too, where I can allow comments or disallow comments. I can change the slug if I wanted. I can change the excerpt. I can like pass an image in here too as well. So I could do another, right? Another ask for input up top. Ask for input up top and say, okay. Oh, I know I can do this with a select. That's not the one I want though. Image. That's MSC deck. Not what I wanted. Photos. Photo. I can like select a photo. Right. Just select a photo. Yeah. So like right here, it's hard to see. It's because the camera's not set up for this really, but I can select a photo. Right here is ask for input with the title, sign into your WordPress account, and then shortcut input. So the actual text you highlighted or you sent there from what drafts from whatever you're using as provided, right? So we go with this, we would rename it to content. Okay. So now I know it's content. It just makes it easy to use the variable. That's it. Featured image. I would say select magic variable, choose photos. So you just got to remember to choose one photo there. I can even put custom fields if I want in here, if you need that, like your Yoast SEO stuff if you're doing that type of stuff. So that's what I would look at to do this. It'd be the best thing. Yeah, that's what I would do. So I'm actually thinking of going back to WordPress for that reason. Yeah, for that reason. Oh, of course, now my iPad shows up. I can show it to you for real then. And all that time my iPad wouldn't show up. So now you can actually see it here, right? It's frozen though. Sorry. This is the best. The iPad's frozen again. You can have a better idea what the shortcut looks like up close though. I don't tell you best. I don't know why it's freezing on me. Is it unfrozen? Still frozen. No idea why it's frozen. I probably need to restart my whole computer. So, which I'm not gonna do right now because I'm streaming. That's the best I got for you today though. I should zoom my camera back out while I'm looking at it. See, eventually I probably would like to actually like replace the keycaps on this. Probably need to move that out of the way. No, my mic. It's focusing on my mic. That was like bad streamer because it was not like focused properly or anything. Oh well, that's what you got for now. I'll replace my keycaps one time. So I got another set of keycaps that I'd like to use on stuff. So. I should probably in here too when I'm talking about this say that I should let you see this again. Just make a note that not only should you have it like in a cloud, so it's on your computer, on your other devices locally, you should also do Backblaze, some other service like that, so that you have another backup. So. And I'll have to dig into Obsidian Sync later. Thank you. Thank you, the Zircon. I hope that works for you. I feel like I've done and you'll find other people doing WordPress shortcuts if you want that. I guess that was not terrible. I hooked up to like a super old WordPress site that I haven't like connected to or published anything on in probably 5 years, but I just knew it was still around because I haven't deleted it yet. So, my final note will be wrapping up the stream now. That's the big thing. No matter how you're syncing your files, syncing data and anything, you only have the copies you need when you have linked up. Blanking on everything now. Alexa, be quiet. Be quiet. Right, 1 copy is 0, 2 copies is 1. Because if like one of them goes bad, you just only have 1, and only when you have 3 copies. So that's why iCloud and Backblaze, I'm assuming they use different services, like different servers, Amazon S3, anything like that. So I always figure that if like iCloud is totally toast and whatever Backblaze uses is also dead, then I have bigger problems to worry about than my Obsidian files. Because they'll still be on like my laptop, my iPad, and my phone as well. At that point, though, I'm just probably happy that my kids are around and stuff. That's the big thing. So I don't worry about it past that. I mean, that's it for streaming today. I'm going to head out. And I got kids to take to swimming. And kids to take to skating, stuff like that. And yeah, that's it. Have a good day. Thanks for joining me. The Zircon, you're welcome for everything. Everyone's welcome for it. Thanks for coming by. I enjoyed the stream. We'll be catching some of these videos later. And join me next week for more videos. I can tell you what's next. Next week is going to be... Next week we'll be talking about River Queen book, which is about a cool lady in BC who like did awesome stuff. And I'll be talking about Templator in Obsidian as well. So I know Guthrie, who's gone now in the stream, was asking about that. So I'll be talking about next week as well. I don't think I've written it yet, so I got to write it still. But talking about Templator, what I use it for. Oh, I have written some of it. And hat tip to Anthony Baker because he pointed out some cool stuff. I know he's not here today, but... I'll show you how to set it up, show you some of the things that I use, show you the template language, and that's what I'll be doing next week. So I'll be doing some research this weekend for it. And I got to work this weekend, unfortunately, because there's just stuff that has to get done. Thanks for coming by. Have a good day. Try to behave yourself if you can. If you can't, then have fun. Do whatever you're going to do. Ciao.